All right, here's your system. I wanted to do a quick instructional video as opposed to writing, down instructions. I think it's a little more in depth and detailed when you can point out things and stuff like that. So I prefer this method of, showing you how your system works. First and foremost, we've got the RX unit here, which is going to go up front in front of the vehicle. It's identified by the RJ45 connection, which is connected to the 2.5-inch OLED display. And then on the opposing side, you've got TX, which is represents coming from TX, and then you got your negative and your positive power. Again, it's very important just to keep these in the correct orientation. I have these labeled here, T and X, the two wires that are going into here. And then, of course, again, you got your positive and negative power. Um, Going back to the display here, you can see you got your speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, speaker 4, amp 1, amp 2, amp 3, amp 4. I'm going to introduce some heat here so you can see how responsive it is. And that was on obviously the AM1 sensors, or I'm sorry, I think it was AM2. So you can see how quickly it is and accurate. They're all calibrated within a couple of degrees of each other. The amp sensors are here. They're a little bit different sensor than the subwoofer sensors are. They're designed to be like more. I don't know. The point of view is a lot closer than the subwoofer because obviously the subwoofer ones are set within the vent cavity, so they're focused on the voice coil, whereas these are more designed to be a little more focused on a tighter area, if you will, on the side of an amplifier or the top of the heat sink or something like that. So there's your uh, amplifier sensors there. They're all labeled individually. I'm sorry, AM1, 4, AM3, AM1, and AM2. And then obviously that corresponds with, what you'll see here on the screen. So from there, from the, the RX module, you go to you got the TX module here. Again, these are labeled on the side. There's some indentations here. You've got white, green, black, and red, and you see that's represented red, black, green, white. So that corresponds to that there. On the opposing side of the TX unit, you've got your positive and negative power, and then you got RX. So this is coming from the RX, and then each wire here is labeled R and X, so you know which wire is which. Obviously, the positive and negative right here won't be in place when you receive it. Those terminals will be open. Currently I've just got my power supply hooked up to those spots there, and then from there, you've got this little 12-inch jumper right here, which goes into the distribution block for your sensors. So again, you've got your white, green, black, and red. White, green, black, and red. Just make sure that if you need to disconnect any of these wires, make sure they go back in the appropriate locations on the plug. And then once you have all of your installations complete, everything's in place, you want to secure these two small flathead screws on either side of the connectors to secure this plug in place. It doesn't really matter where the sensors plug into this distribution block, because you see they're all in the same configuration: white, green, black, red, and then all these up top: white, green, black, red. So again, you could plug in the distribution cable coming from the TX unit anywhere on here, and then to do the same thing, whatever is convenient for you. Same thing with the sensors; they can plug in anywhere on here. Each sensor is kind of ran in parallel off of each connector. Since you've got a total of 8, there's 4 outputs here, so each connector has 2 on them. So just so you know. So yeah, man, I just wanted to kind of give you a little rundown. Here's your subwoofer sensors right here. They will come with these 90-degree brackets here, and let me see if I could do this with one hand. Just kind of based upon what your subwoofer basket configuration is. Give me 1 second. So basically it'll look like that. That's the orientation you want it facing towards the voice coil. And then that would be what it looks like. You want to use a non-conductive epoxy, like I've had good experience with JB Weld, securing the sensor to the bracket, and then the bracket to the basket, the same type of epoxy. And then just put it in a spot on the vent portion of the basket, or on the basket itself, where you can cover the voice coil as best as possible. So yeah, here's all your sensors here. Excuse me. And then again, they're labeled SP1, SP2, SP3, SP4, which again corresponds to what you got here on the display. So yeah, man, I'm going to be packing it up as soon as this video is done. And again, I appreciate your support. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.